This is part 2 of the Kohler 18 horsepower disassembly. It had an issue with the valve spring. When I popped off the valve cover, I saw the valve seat was popped out and the rocker arm was loose. Once we reseated, I reseated the guide in there and pushed it down. Removed the valve spring, pushed it down with this 10 or 11. I think it was a 7/16 socket, something that fit perfectly over it, and pushed it back in, and then reassembled it and adjusted this, and I noticed that it went tighten. I tightened the rocker arm all the way down. You could see the threads extended, and then this one is where it should be. You could see how there's no stud sticking out. It's tight. It has its lash, but it's tight and won't go anywhere. So I knew that something was up with this to prevent it from having this push. And also this push rod wouldn't come out. And I thought there might have been a keeper in there or something, but online it should have just came out. So I knew something was wrong. But once I got the sump off, the first thing I noticed was on the on the intake gear, you could see that it has this raised plastic, but it doesn't have a compression release on this. I think they just designed it from the same mold. So that's what should be on this one, which is the exhaust. But you could see that this one broke. And so I think since that broke, it allowed this compression release to go past where it should have. See how it can go past it? And that did something to make the timing off. But the main thing is once you pull this cam gear out, you could see the real problem. And that's this push rod is just completely bent. This should be straight. It shouldn't be bent at all. So the fact that it's curved so much, it had a big impact instantaneously. I don't know what would have caused that, but I'll pull this cam shaft out and pull the push rod out. See if I can get it out with the bent, because it normally goes this way to pull out, but it came out, and that's a bent push rod. So this prevented the exhaust valve from opening at all, preventing it from starting, which I assume is what really wore out the starter. It wouldn't even been able to run like this. So that was the problem. Everything else looks pretty good. It has a really heavy-duty rod. It's H-beam. It looks to be aluminum. I was impressed by that. The bearings look fine. I don't see any metal shavings in there. I think it just came down to this plastic piece. This little tiny plastic piece caused bigger issues. So that was my findings on Kohler 18 horsepower Courage single cylinder that had the symptoms of a hard start after starter and battery was replaced. So maybe that might help someone else out there. But to find the parts for this and fix it might be more labor and parts than replacing the motor. But I'll see what the options are and what the owner wants to do.